Oh, all right, about to do a restoration class. Got to get all this set up. Oh, yeah. Hey, right there. Oh, get this going. Eddie M, what's up, Eddie M? I'm about to start my restoration class, and go from there. Let's see. Gotta find it. There it is. Alrighty. Click here to join this meeting. Continue on this browser. Here we are. So I got a new Obama phone. It doesn't work, and it canceled my other SIM card. It really pissed me off. Yeah, you gotta call that guy later. That in the fucking box. Alrighty, here we go. Join now. I'm hungry. Oh. Alrighty, we let the people in meeting know you're waiting. Alrighty, it is Wednesday, correct? Yep, I have a restoration class right now. Hello.
Hey, Kenneth.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Alrighty, I can hear you also.
Perfect.
Barely.
Barely?
Okay, yeah, if you speak loudly, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
How was your weekend?
It was good. It was nice to have a long weekend. How was yours?
It was all right. A little drama here and there. I got to hit up my boss and see if I'm still working with him. How should I put this? I work on 3 separate contracts. One of them just got done, and it's basically 3 separate campaigns, 3 separate contracts, 3 separate candidates, for the separate campaigns. And 2 of them are done by one dude, 1 is done by a girl. The girl is the one we used to work for. Her name's Lori. So Lori and the dude started getting into it and with some argument that I don't know what it was really about. And Lori needed me to go work and cover shifts. And I was like, okay. And then the dude told me not to. And I thought, well, I better be the adult and get these shifts covered. So that was for a separate contract. And now the other contract with the dude, I don't know if he's going to have me go pass out flyers. So one of the guys I was working with, he left to Florida, and he got there yesterday or the day before. And so that's where I'm going to see about going, maybe tomorrow or the next day.
Okay.
So I got to apply online, do some stuff, hit up some people, and communicate with the pretrial release officer about what do you call that? Going to Florida for work.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So yeah,
stressful.
and annoying, you know.
Yeah.
So that's just what I'm dealing with, and so hopefully, if all goes well, I'll go to Florida. It starts at $50 an hour. It's signature collecting for abortion rights. It's statewide. I will, what do you call that? If I get 500 signatures a week, I will get a bonus that equals to 2,500 a week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so that could be 10 grand in a month.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wish you luck on that. I hope you get the chance to go.
Yeah, so do I, you know, and these classes are remote, so I could easily do them over the computer, right? Like I'm doing them now.
Well, awesome. Are you ready to jump into the book?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think we last did Module 9. Does that sound about familiar?
I think so. I remember we skipped down to the bottom of the book to read do the outcome match game.
Yes, we did. Okay, good. Let's review Module 9. So that's on page 44.
Alrighty, 44. Alright. The course pretest?
Yep.
Alrighty. A plea bargain is when you go to trial, the witnesses say you did what you are accused of, you agree to a lesser charge and receive an easier sentence. C, you agree to a lesser charge and receive an easier sentence. That is what a plea bargain is.
Perfect.
2, an acquittal is you go to trial and you are found not guilty. B.
Yep, it is B.
Alrighty. 3, a fine is money you have to pay to the court as a punishment. True.
Yep.
4, a hospital commitment is when you agree to go to the hospital if you get worse. False. A hospital commitment is when the judge orders you to the hospital.
Yes. Until you are better.
Until you are better.
Perfect.
Alrighty.
All right. Module 10. This is a big guy, so we might get through the whole thing, we might not, so we'll just have to see.
Alrighty.
All right. It's page 47, and we'll do that course pretest and just see what you know.
Okay, so let me get down there. Do you want me to read Module 10? Or do you want me to do the course pretest first?
Let's do the course pretest first.
Okay, what should I think about when considering my plea options? Everything, the severity, the charge, the sentence, and the options in the plea.
Yeah, and then you also want to think about like evidence, potential witnesses, any past criminal history.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And who should you consult regarding your legal options?
The lawyer.
Yep. If you go to trial, what information will be used to determine if you are guilty or not guilty?
Whatever the judge allows in.
Okay. Yeah, so it's going to be kind of just the same exact thing as question 1. So the evidence, potential witnesses, possible sentence, past criminal history. Yeah. And how do you know if a plea bargain is good for you or not?
That's kind of up to me, I guess, and my lawyer, if I'm willing to take it.
Yeah, and if you just look at some of, I guess, the facts of the plea bargain, so the evidence, sentence options, likely outcome in the trial. Yeah, but it really is ultimately kind of what you think.
Yeah, I guess. Yes, that is correct.
Okay. All right. So do you want to read the vocabulary or do you want to switch off?
I'll read the vocabulary.
Okay.
Rational, based in accordance with reason and logic, includes beliefs, thoughts based in reality. Reality orientation, you are aware of who you are, where you are, and what is currently happening in your environment. Legal defense strategy, with the assistance of one's attorney, the defendant presents information to the court in an effort to demonstrate their innocence or to reach a desired outcome.
Perfect. Any questions?
No, it's just the reality, or I keep reading reality orientation. That's just kind of a funny phrase there with its definition. I mean, it's legit.
Yeah. Does it make sense though?
Yeah. You are aware of who you are, where you are, and what is currently happening in your environment. I guess, as a restoration class, that would have to be there.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So here's where the big stuff comes in. We're going to do some of these activities on the back on page 48.
Alrighty.
So the first one is to review your charges, classification, sentencing, and we went over the police report, but we'll kind of like discuss it again.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your charges?
I'm being charged with the class 5 felony menacing.
Yes. And the possible sentencing?
1 to 3 years with 2 years of parole.
Good. Sorry, I'm trying to open up the police report really quick just so we have that to reference. So when we think about the police report, what are the alleged facts in the police report?
That I whipped out a knife and went at somebody with it.
Right. And when we look at the police report, what kind of like evidence? Do they have any witnesses?
I don't know. It's changed. There's some body camera footage, some video footage from a phone, and the statements I think have changed. But yeah, because the evidence. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
Right. Yeah. So let me just skim this and I'll see. Yep. So the body cam would be considered evidence. There is the witness or the manager, the police officer could be considered a witness also. The knife. They make the font on these so tiny, and when you zoom in, it like blurs the whole thing. Yep, and you said the phone recording. Mhm. Good. Okay. So we know the evidence, and we know that there might be potential witnesses. We know the alleged facts, the sentencing, the charges. And when we look back at kind of when we talked about the plea options, how would we associate each plea with your potential case?
You look at the evidence, the severity of the charge, see how the evidence could present, what would you call that? A defense, an alibi, an acquittal. Um, um, yeah, so it's all in that, it's basically saying, do I think a jury would take my side, if the video shows me being attacked, and I say it does, then I should have, affirmative defense, stand my ground, defense.
Okay. So let's kind of move away from like your case in particular, and let's say that I had a similar case to you, and I decided to plead guilty.
Mhm.
What would the events look like after that? Like, what would happen?
You would take a pre-sentence investigation, a PSI report, a pre-sentence investigation report. They would ask you your criminal background, what type of person you are, to see if you're going to constantly go in and out of the legal system, and go from there.
Right. So if I plead guilty, they'll review my charges, review the evidence, potentially go to a jury. I mean, you could also say a bench trial, but that's not. We'll just stick with jury trial for now. I'd go to trial, right, on my charges, or I'm sorry, that's not guilty. I'm lost my train of thought. Guilty. Yes, you're right. They would review my charges, review the sentencing. Judge would have, the decision there on kind of what my sentence would look like. And if I'm in competency restoration and I've been doing everything I'm told, and I said, hey, I'm guilty, I did this, I ran the red light and I hit the person on the sidewalk, and they decide my sentence from there. So pretend I didn't give you the answer. What would happen if I pled not guilty?
If you pled not guilty, you would have to go to trial.
Right.
And so then evidence would be presented against you. Evidence would be presented in your favor. The jury would hear the witnesses and the evidence, and then the jury would decide.
Right. And let's say I plead no contest.
It's basically saying that you don't want to take it to trial, and you're not admitting guilt, and you're letting the judge decide whatever happens.
Right. Yep. That's exactly right. Awesome. Okay. So let me find this little story, the vignette, and then we'll answer a couple questions they have. They don't have this in your book, so I apologize. But if you need me to reread it, just let me know. Oh, perfect. Okay, so we're going to be talking about Bob. Bob was arrested and charged with battery on a law enforcement officer after he hit a police officer who stopped him on the street. There were two other people, witnesses, who saw Bob hit the police officer. The officer had a cut on his chin after being hit, and Bob's knuckles were bruised. The worst penalty Bob can get if he is found guilty is 5 years in prison. The state attorney, prosecutor, offers a deal, a plea bargain, where Bob would have to spend 4 months in jail and then be on probation for 1 year. So the first question is, does the state have a strong case against Bob?
You could say yes. They have the eyewitnesses.
Mm-hmm. There's also the bruising on his knuckles. So if they were to take photos of that, and the cut on the chin, right?
Mm-hmm.
What evidence can be used to prove Bob's guilty? They say Bob guilty.
All the stuff you just brought up, the evidence of pictures of his bruised knuckles, the pictures of the police's chin, the police's statement, any statement Bob said, any videos, and the eyewitness accounts of the witnesses.
Right. Would you accept the plea bargain if you were Bob? So that would be spend 4 months in jail and then be on probation for 1 year, versus if found guilty, 5 years of prison.
Was it automatic 5 years? I mean, and plus, is there like an affirmative defense, or did the dude just hit him? You know, I mean, if it's just the way it sounds, then of course you take the plea bargain.
Right. So let's just go with the way it sounds. Like, we won't dig too deep into it. So if he's guilty, it's 5 years. If he takes the plea bargain, it's 4 months in jail and then the probation.
Of course, you take the 4 months in jail.
Right. Okay. This is kind of the same question. Would you plead not guilty and take the case to trial if you were Bob? Why or why not?
Well, with what's presented, I would say no, because what's presented, there's no like self-defense, affirmative defense, alibi. All it is just a couple of facts put in a report.
Right. Yeah, they don't give too much detail, but just based on the simple facts of this, yeah, I agree. I probably wouldn't take it. Awesome. Okay. Let's talk about Tom. So the police came to Tom's house because neighbors complained that he was playing his music too loud. When the police got to his house, they asked if they could come inside. Tom said yes. In the living room, police spotted a crack pipe and an empty bag on the table. Police arrested Tom for possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of cocaine. Tom told the police that the stuff was not his. Does the state have a strong case against Tom on the possession of drug paraphernalia charge?
What did they show up for again?
Because he was playing music too loud.
And he invited them in?
Yeah, they asked if they could come inside, and Tom said yes.
Yeah, I think they have a good case against it. He's the only one there. It's in his name. It's his apartment. Yeah.
Right. And then same with the cocaine possession charge.
Yeah, both of the. Well.
Okay.
If it's an empty baggie, they may get him with, what is that called? Residue.
Right. I mean, they could, but let's say for fact's sake, the bag didn't have anything in it. There was no residue or anything.
Then I think no. I think that's probably just a trump up charge that they throw in there so that way they take the plea bargain.
Right. Yeah. How might you plead on these charges? Guilty, not guilty, no contest, or guilty by reason of insanity?
I mean, the crack pipe one, that's kind of a guilty one. I mean, they let the dude let the cops in, so that's one of those things there where you say you don't let the cops in, you don't answer questions, you always say no. But yeah, I think I'd probably plead guilty to that.
Okay. What about the cocaine one?
I don't know. I may fight that. That's something that they'd probably drop in the plea bargain.
Right. Yeah. That's a great point. Yeah. If Tom was under the influence of drugs or high when he got arrested, could he plead not guilty by reason of insanity to the charges and win?
It's up to the judge. I've heard of judges allowing that.
Right. I'd say probably not in a real world situation. But if he did try to plead that, he could potentially end up with some other options like sober living, treatment, rehab, instead of the full sentence or things like that. So like another version of a plea deal. And do you believe the search of Tom's apartment was legal, and why? Or why not?
I mean, it depends, because like, was it, if they see it in plain view, it's not really a search, it's just acknowledgement of what's going on.
Right. So it's giving, it's probable cause, right?
Something like that.
Plus he invited them in.
Yeah, that right there. I mean, if you invite someone in, and, or if you invite the government in and they see some illegal activity, they don't need the warrant. It's in plain view, you know? So it's basically like saying, hey, you're out in your front yard and you're just doing anything illegal, whatever it is, whether it's smoking crack or not. If they can see it in plain view, I don't think they really need the warrant. So it's really not, I guess it's completely legal. I wouldn't call it a search, but if they're calling it a search, I would say it's legal.
Okay, yeah. I can see, yeah, I see where you got there. Okay, one more. We're going to talk about Dave. Dave is arrested by police on Sunday morning and is charged with grand theft auto. The police say that Dave stole a car from a gas station Saturday night and crashed it into a telephone pole 2 miles from his house. Police found Dave's fingerprints on the car door and were able to track him down because he has a criminal record and a past charge for grand theft auto. Dave tells police that he was home alone all night on Saturday, but Dave's neighbor told the police that he saw Dave running up to his house at 2 a.m., 1 hour after the car was reported stolen. Dave claims that the police are always messing with him, trying to frame him, and that they are involved in a conspiracy to put him behind bars. Dave's neighbor is a 65-year-old retired store clerk. He's not an enemy of Dave's and has no bad feelings towards him. What evidence does the state have against Dave?
The fingerprints.
Yep.
You know, the statement of the old man saying that he saw Dave in the middle of the night after the car got stolen.
Yep. That past criminal record and the past charge.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Who would be a more believable witness, Dave or his neighbor? The neighbor does not have a criminal record.
So, in the courts, they say it's up to the jury, but they do tell the jury whether or not if the person has any type of fraud or deception charges.
Right.
So, I think technically it would be his neighbor because he doesn't have the criminal record. But I think the court would probably say you would still have to, it's up to the jury to give the same weight to either witness.
Right. So what if the neighbor had been 23 years old with a long criminal record and who had conflicts with Dave in the past?
Then that would probably give the defense a strategy to say that the 23-year-old witness was lying.
Right. It would kind of, oh man, that word is falling on me. He'd be an unreliable witness, right? Discredited, yes. Thank you. The worst penalty Dave could get is 15 years if he is found guilty. Should he consider a plea bargain offer of 3 years in prison? Why or why not?
What's the worst he can get?
15 years if he's found guilty.
Yeah, I guess he'd take that plea bargain, you know, unless he was very adamant that it wasn't him. I mean, you know, his lawyer could probably argue that most evidence is hearsay and circumstantial. I mean, the witness's testimony is hearsay, or the neighbor's testimony is hearsay. So, yeah, I guess it would be up to the dude. I mean, how vigilant does he feel, right?
Right.
So,
I mean, and just plain facts of like what they're saying on this example. So like, if you, I guess you get your scales and you say 15 versus 3, I'd probably pick 3.
yeah, I mean, especially if you did it, right?
Right. Or you know that they have very, very, very a lot of evidence against you. It'd be kind of one of those things where you'd have to really discuss with like your attorney and make sure that you're weighing all the options. I'd probably go through that SOTA's decision-making model. All right, last one. If Dave's case goes to trial, how likely is he to win and be found not guilty by claiming that he was framed? Why do you think Dave is accusing police of framing him?
I don't know. I have no clue. I mean, somebody goes out that way, they go out that way. So they could push whatever route they want, that route, and claim whatever route they can. So I don't know if that dude goes that route, he goes that route.
Right. I would say he's probably not very likely to be found not guilty by saying he was framed.
He probably won't be believed at all.
Yeah, just because he's got that past charge and then the fingerprints. Witnesses aside, like the fingerprints would probably be a big one. Awesome. What questions do you have about plea deals, kind of rationalizing through a situation there?
Oh, yeah. I just don't think it'd be good for me to take a plea deal, They spit on me, they called me a blue-eyed nigger, they flashed guns at me. One came at me with a dirty syringe, and what's on camera is the dude attacking me, constantly hitting me over and over, separating me from my property, which got stolen.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely something to talk about with your lawyer, and you want to make sure that you review all the evidence when you get the chance.
Mm-hmm.
But that is all I have for today. That was a big guy.
Yep, 11:01. Alrighty, so I'll see you next week. Hopefully I'll be in Florida.
Oh, you're going to be going that soon, you think?
Yeah. Be nice if I leave tomorrow the next day. Because I don't even know if I'm working right now. I'm sending my boss a text message saying good morning. Here we go. Yeah, and then, yes, so they allow these people into my building to give away those free phones. I don't know if you've ever seen them on the street.
Yeah.
So this one dude, he came in, he gave away some free phones, and they don't work. And once you sign up, it turns off all your other free stuff.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so he didn't give me the straight up on that one. And plus, I really wasn't caring because I have some other Obama phone that's old, and I was like, well, whatever, if that SIM card goes off and this SIM card goes on, whatever. But it doesn't even work. So this phone doesn't even turn on. Yeah, it's real annoying. That's all it does. It gives me that one screen, and then that's it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But anyways, yeah, I have to send a message to my boss to see if we're working today. And then I got to hit up that guy and see what's going on.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope that goes well. I'm sorry about your phone situation. That's not good.
Well, it's just a backup, just in case, and the main thing is that the SIM card works. That's the main reason for the backup. But if the phone and the SIM card don't work, oh man, it's worthless.
Gotcha. Okay.
But anyways,
Well-
thank you, and I will see you next Monday.
Yeah, if you end up heading off to Florida, will you just shoot me a text message and let me know so that we
Okay.
can maybe plan for the time difference or anything we need
Oh
to.
yeah, that's right. Yep, I will.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You have a beautiful day.
You too.
Hello, Mark. This is Ken Wheeler. I got a phone from you yesterday, and it's not working. The 800 number? Yeah, but this phone has not turned on since I got it from you. Yeah. I mean, even when I plug it in, it doesn't turn on. I left it plugged in for a couple hours. Yep. Alrighty, thank you. The white screen comes on, and that's it. The one that says Uno. Nothing after that. And then that just goes black after a few seconds, like a second or two. It says my name, the phone number, it gives all that information when the card resets. It looks like Q68802479092. Okay, so but this phone doesn't turn on. I've done that once, yes. Should I do it again? Okay, well, thank you. All right, peace. So hey, everybody out there. I think this dude instantly knew that these phones were shitty because he instantly had a line of, oh, well, I'm not the repair guy, call them. So, take out the SIM card and put in the other Obama phone that I know does work, but lost its fucking service when this one kicked on. See, I wouldn't be all pissy if that phone worked, but it doesn't work, so it's fucking pointless. So let's see if the SIM card works, because I can't even get that phone turned on. That's the thing. I cannot get that fucking phone turned on. Oh man, it says no SIM card, no service. It's not reading the SIM card. Oh, that's shitty. Alrighty, so it is a dead phone with a dead SIM card. I put in this one, and now does that make this? That's fucking bullshit, y'all. Alright, now it just says no service. Alrighty, well, man, I've got a lot of shit to do. Okay, so yeah, everybody, I'm gonna follow the stream. Go out, get shit done. Probably have to do some emails. So yeah, everybody in YouTube land, stay warm if you stay warm, stay cool if you need to stay cool, stay healthy, stay safe, stay sober. The rain is a coming today. They say rain's coming this afternoon. All right. So peace. Love you. And says click and